all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights.
For Dog Pound Incorporated, the biggest win, his first win. Gutierrez wins the Indianapolis 250.
We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high.
And your 2023 Haas IndyCar Series champion is Luna in the 00.
For the final race of our little California swing here in the 2024 Haas IndyCar Series season, we're right here in Rosamond, California, here to a pretty well-known track here in the state of California. We're here at the Willow Springs International Raceway here for 20 laps of action. We're here for the Lenovo Grand Prix of California, here for the 2024 Haas IndyCar Series season. What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome to the Lenovo Grand Prix of California here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. Race number 4 on the 2024 Haas IndyCar Series season, and as I mentioned, this is the last race of our little California swing before we head to Circuit of the Americas in Texas next week. But been a pretty entertaining few races, to say the least, starting out of California, where we had that great finish between Zachary Fitzwater and Chris Reynolds, and then last week at Riverside International Raceway, we had Logan Williams get Thomas Trucks on the final corner and just barely beat him to the line. But we're here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. Not really know what to expect here. It's one of the better tracks, or better road courses in NR, I think. There's a lot of passing we usually see here, and especially here in these Indy cars. Especially last year, we saw quite a bit of chaos. So it'll be interesting to see if that carries over toward this season. But this is going to be an interesting race either way. So joining me up here in the booth for this one, we've got past IndyCar Series driver and champion, I might add, Chase Harris, and owner of Scuderia Team Velocity here in this series, Matt Tuck. Thank you both for joining me up in the booth for this one. Start with you, Cherish. You know, you're a past champion of this series, and you know, you've got that driver mentality. What do you think these guys are going to have to do to potentially get the victory here at Willow Springs?
Well, at road courses, from what we've, noticed a lot, every form of racing, starting up front is key. So I think track position is the big thing, and also strategy as well. You got to have a good strategy to keep yourself out front, or if you're in the back, maybe try and jump some guys. So pass on lots of passing opportunities. But all in all, I mean, at the end of the day, being up front is where you're going to have to be, I think, in terms of starting this race, because I think once you get beyond row 3 is when it's going to get a little tough to get up towards the front. So, yeah, I think strategy is going to play a big role, but I also think qualifying was a huge key to this. But, we'll have to see. We've seen some crazy things in this series, and I have a feeling we'll probably see something crazy again here today.
Definitely. We are going to have a pit stop in this race about halfway through, so yeah, strategy is definitely going to play a factor in this. And as you mentioned, pretty much about for all road courses, starting up front is a pretty good indicator of how you might do on the race, because road courses are a little bit harder to pass on than normal tracks, so starting up front will get you to the advantage early on, and that could stay and carry over to later in the race. But Matt, you're an owner of Scuderia Team Velocity. You won the opening race of the season at Homestead with Bradley Bradshaw, and you've also got Luna, both doing very solid so far this season, sitting up there in points. But what are your drivers going to have to do to potentially get up to the front? You can see Bradley Bradshaw starting there in row number 3. Luna a little ways back, but not too far back. What do you think they're going to have to do to potentially get the victory here today?
Well, Bradshaw doesn't have too far to go to get himself into a shot to victory today, which is good for him to rebound in the points. I think Luna just needs a good day, and it all comes down to track position and nailing your pit stops, especially the undercut here, because we've seen with the older worn-out surface here, this track can eat up tires, and that undercut can be very powerful. So it's all going to come down to track position as pit stops here today. But definitely feeling optimistic for the team today.
Definitely. It is pretty much going to come down to those pit stops and starting up towards the front. But yeah, Bradley Bradshaw definitely starting in a pretty good position to potentially maybe steal this win away. But really quickly, we'll take a look at their pole sitter. That's the number 34. That's Brendan Wilmington starting on the pole position for today's race. Starting alongside Thomas Troxel, who probably has too many chips on his shoulder to carry just so far this season. Lost Homestead off of turn number 4. Lost Riverside off of the final corner. I'm sure he definitely does not want to let another one slip away from him. But taking a look at your point standings coming into this race, and it's definitely pretty interesting after the race at Riverside. Chris Reynolds is coming into this race the point leader, currently with a 3-point lead over Angel Olvera, who so far has finished in the top 5 all 3 races so far this season. Taking a look further down, we've got Thomas Troxel up to 3rd in the standings, just 11 back. Zachary Fitzwater is 4th, 23 back. Bradley Bradshaw is 5th, 23 back. Logan Williams up 16 spots after last race. He's up to 6th, 28 back. Max Anderson is 41 back. Braden Perez, 42 back, along with Nicholas Samadillo and Bruno Diacomo currently rounds out your top 10 in points. He is 44 points back, but we'll get these guys rolling here in just a second from the Willow Springs Raceway. Starting lineup will be displayed on the left-hand side of your screen, as well as the race reports and the previous winners. But Cheris and then Matt, who do you all think is going to be the one to go to victory lane here today at Willow Springs?
Well, I'm going to stick up front. I feel like a redemption arc is going to happen today. Give me Thomas Troxel in this race. Obviously, sold it at Riverside, and he's going to have a big chip on his shoulder entering this race. So I feel like that 52 is really going to be strong today, and he's in a good spot to, potentially dominate this race. But see what happens. Let's go with Matt.
I am not going to go with the front row, and I'm not going to go with row number 2. I've done this once, and we'll do it again, and I'm going to pick Bradley Bradshaw to get his second win of the season today.
Hey, definitely some solid picks there, and Bradley might be your driver, but he's definitely a good driver at that and is sitting in a good position. But pace car is going to pull onto the pit lane, and it's going to be the 34 of Brennan Wilmington and the 52 of Thomas Troxel, who's going to lead us to the green flag. We're racing here in the Lenovo Grand Prix of California at the Willow Springs International Raceway. And coming off of the final quarter to lead the opening lap, it's going to be the 34 of Brennan Wilmington over the 50 of Skylar Taylor. The 52 of Thomas Troxel slipped back to 3rd, and it's a hornet's nest so far back here throughout the field. Starting to single file out just a little bit out front. Wilmington's going to go a little bit wide there. That could allow the 50 of Skylar Taylor to gain just a little bit. And for 3rd, here comes a 41. Angel Olvera looking for His 4th straight top 5 finish. That 41 has definitely been very consistent throughout the course of this season, but it's still early on in the race here. There's still plenty of time for stuff to happen. Yeah, a lot of this field's still 2x2, all the way back to Brad Stover, but Wilmington, as they come over the hump, still with the lead here on lap number 2.
What you mentioned it, and I was going to. Angel Oliveira's on a very good streak right now to start this year. 41 cars really fast. Goes for 3rd. Oh man, that was really close. These corners, as wide as they are a lot more narrow than what you think because of how much you have to slow up for some of them, especially when you go over the hill. You can make 2 wide work for the corners, but not 3 wide. It's something to watch out for today.
Definitely something to watch out for, because like I mentioned, it could have its fair share of chaos, and most of that chaos usually comes from overdriving corners, running off the road, potentially running wide and making contact with other competitors. But oh man, yeah, looking back here, this is where some of that will probably happen, as we got a lot of side-by-side action going on back through here. But Angel Oliveira now on the gearbox of Skylar Taylor going for 2nd. Man, Oliveira's had a great season and looks to have a pretty strong car here today. I think Oliveira could definitely be one to contend for the win here. But looking further on back right now, it's Bradley Bradshaw rounding out your top 5, but here comes Angel Oliveira for 2nd on Skylar Taylor, and coming around the final corner, Oliveira up to 2nd place. Ooh, bunch of contact made back there. John Stewart nearly got sent into the pit wall as he made contact there with Braden Perez, but keeps it together. And I think he only lost 1 spot because of that to the 59 of Dylan Matthews. But yeah, that last corner is probably going to be one of the trouble spots for these guys, as we got one down the pit lane. That's the 95 of Richard Kinghart. I don't know why he's pitting. Might have got forced into the pit lane or something. And also the 55 of Noah Clifton off the pace just a little bit. Might have ran off the road himself. And yeah, still early on in the going, as I think that's what happened to Noah Clifton. We got skid marks there. I think the 55 might have gotten spun. I'll put a replay somewhere on the screen. But yeah, Angel Oliveira now up to 2nd. Here in this 41 for Trackhouse Racing, now trying to hunt down Brendan Wilmington for the race lead. And yeah, like I said, that 41's got a very strong car here today, and is going to reel right up to the 34 as they come to complete lap number 4.
We've seen Trackhouse Racing just a few weeks ago pick up their first ever Wawa Cup Series win with Daniel Paulus Jr. and now Angel Oliveira, who's had a very nice start to his IndyCar campaign with three top 5s out of 3 races. That is a remarkable level of consistency from this 41 machine, and he is hawking Brennan Wilmington here. I think we just saw him make the pass on Skylar Taylor in the carousel. I think Wilmington's going to be under some massive fire here as they come down the hill, and I don't even know if it's going to make it all the way down the hill for Brennan Wilmington, but this 41 machine is hooked up, and Oliveira is looking to get his first win of the season here today.
Out 8 down, taking a look at the fastest lap. Oliveira has it by 3/10 over the 13 on Max Anderson, who has the 2nd fastest time. That 41 is absolutely on rails right now. Wilmington's probably going to be sweating bullets from that race lead. But, yeah, like I said, still got that cycle of pit stops, and he's right to the gearbox there of Wilmington. We've got some skid marks. Oh
my goodness.
Oh, look out. This is happening right in front of the leaders. And this is something... Oh, they're running into each other. Around goes the 97 of Aaron Abel, and I believe we've had more go around into the first corner. There's the 13 of Anderson, and I think somebody else might have gone around as well. Don't know. Actually, no, I don't think so. I saw something kind of similar happen in last year's race. I wonder if somebody just put some oil down. Could have been the 75 of Zidell. He's going really slowly around the racetrack. already got our pretty fair share of chaos early on in the going, and that actually allowed Bruno Wilmington to pull away just a little bit from Oliveira, but Oliveira is still trying to hang on and catch back up to that 34 of Wilmington. And it looks like Christian Vargas might have also had an issue. He's also in the pits. Landon Smith Jr., Trey Smith are also a little ways back. And Kinghart's back into the pit lane. Don't know what's going on with that 95, but Wilmington still holding on for the time being, and we're getting closer and closer to that cycle of pit stops. Should start seeing it around lap 10 to 12-ish. And I guess the question a lot of these guys are asking is, do you want to undercut it and come in as soon as you can, as soon as you're sure you're going to make it, or do you want to stay out as long as possible and try to overcut the field?
Well, I think even if you undercut it and you come in at lap 10, you're going to be pretty safe. Because it's not like these guys are running to the full empty when they hit lap 10. But, man, back to that incident we saw, it's lucky more cars weren't collecting that stack up. I mean, they were all over each other's gearboxes. We unfortunately did see one car spin out, but, I mean, yeah, it could have been a whole lot worse. But lots of cars on pit road here, obviously with damage. Hate to see wrecks like that, but we stayed green and actually allowed the field to kind of calm down a little bit. But, man, I'll tell you what, Angel Oliveira will not go away. And so this battle is going to get really intense, and I can't wait to see how they both approach pit road.
I definitely hate to see that, and real unfortunate for all these guys that kind of got taken out in that stack up. In fact, a couple guys were tired. The 33, 98, 95, 24 have all taken their cars to the garage. The 8 of Tanner Parton is a lap down, and Justin Zidell is 2 laps down. I really hate it for those guys, but unfortunately that's just, it's one of the byproducts of this track, and it's honestly kind of wonky panic lines, but well, yeah, Angel Oliveira is really reeling in the 34 of Wilmington. And looking ahead, there's the 97 of Aaron Abel. I don't know how quick he's going to be. I have to see if he might become an issue for these guys, but yeah, right now it's just Bruno Wilmington and Angel Oliveira in kind of their own little world right now. Oh boy, but Angel Oliveira is trying to get to the inside of Wilmington. Here we go for the race lead as we come to complete lap number 8. Oliveira to the right side of Wilmington, not going to quite get it just yet. But Oliveira is right there, but he goes wide in turn 1, and that's going to allow Wilmington to pull away just a little bit.
That top outside of the turn 1 climbing up the hill is a very tough turn to make a maneuver in. And now this is where, if you remember if you're Angel Oliveira, you know you have that set of pit stops coming up here. You don't need to be perfect and make the pass now. You can use the strategy and use an undercut or just a very fast outlap to be able to get around this 34 machine, who's clearly still, even though I think the 41's a bit faster, that is not to say that this 34 is not fast, because he clearly has some speed in this machine. And it's going to be interesting, too, if these two screw around too much. Well, somebody lurking in 3rd position, who's now really the only other car who can win this race, barring chaos, is Thomas Troxel. Something chaotic happens, or maybe he gets the undercut. I mean, we've seen here before, you can make up about 2 seconds on an undercut. So this could get very interesting. And if I was somebody who was pitting, Thomas Troxel is the guy I would want to be in his position and get a jump on these leaders.
Definitely, as you see, Ace Garcia in the 27 down the pit lane, but that's an unscheduled stop. That's a fuel leak on the 27. Heartbreaker for Ace Garcia, who was looking like he was going to start turning the season around after a podium last week at Riverside. Unfortunate exit, though, to this race at Willow Springs, but the pit cycle should be starting to open now, as we're now on to lap 10. We'll have to see if our leaders elect to come down this time, or if they decide to maybe potentially wait it out a little bit. Yeah, I think this will probably come down to Wilmington, Oliveira, and Thomas Troxel. Skylar Taylor's a little ways back, but I think maybe just a little bit too far back.
He will. But I feel like Angel Oliveira has really worn out his tires, because you're noticing he's overdriving just about every corner out of that car.
Oh.
You know, that's the one thing. Here we go. We got pit stops here. Troxel's going to try the undercut. And this is an interesting strategy, but I like it. You know, you're sitting in third. We've seen passing isn't the easiest up front. This is a good move for Troxel. He can gain some time, like Matt said.
Going for the undercut here to potentially try and at least gain time on the 41 and 34. I'd imagine he'd go for all the fixings, going for tires and fuel. Did anybody else come down with him? Yes, the 81, Zachary Fitzwater, is also in this time by, and there goes Thomas Troxel. Doesn't look like anyone's coming in the front straight away, so pretty clean merge there. But looking back at our race leaders, Oliveira's kind of reeled back in Wilmington. But we'll have to see what both of these guys do for their pit stops. I don't know if they're going to be coming in this time. We'll have to see. If you're Wilmington, though, you want to at the very least, come in at the same time of the 41, because if that 41 undercuts you, that's not going to be good, as they're side by side for the lead, and neither of them are coming into the pits. They're going to stay out another lap, and they're going to go side by side for the race lead.
Oh.
Oliveira's going to stay to the right-hand side and is going to get to the inside as they go through the rabbits here. Oliveira's going to have the advantage here. And it looks like that 41's going to clear the 34 for the time being. And Oliveira decided, I'm not going to wait until pit cycles. I want that lead, and I want it now.
That 34 Wilmington, as he came down the hill in Sector 3, had a very big bobble. As we see, the rest of the field is on pit road. Coming down the hill, he had a big bobble, and then he just could not put the power down in the carousel and got absolutely smoked by Oliveira. And now this is going to be fun to watch for these guys pit, because Thomas Troxel just had about 2 laps to put in about as fast a hot laps as he possibly can, and these two started racing each other. I said few laps ago before he pit, I like where Troxel's sitting. I don't think this is over, and I don't think this is just the two of these two who are going to settle this.
Yeah, them two being side by side definitely did not help their case, as they're both going to come in this time by, and here comes Thomas Troxel. He's right now going down the hill. He's entering the carousel. We'll have to see what these two do on the pit lane. It looks like they're at least going to be taking tires. And for Oliveira, at least it's going to be 2 tires. Same for Wilmington. Where's Troxel? Here he comes. Oliveira is going to have the jump, though, for now. Troxel's going to have the full head of momentum, though. I have to see how all of this cycles out. But it looks like, for the time being, Oliveira has got the lead. And looks like he's got a pretty good gap to the 34 of Wilmington.
Yeah, Angel Oliveira right now looks to be in some pretty good shape. That was a good pit stop right there for that 41 crew. Brandon Wilmington was really aggressive coming on the pit road, tried to get right to the back gearbox. It just wasn't quite enough. Thomas Troxel did gain time, but not enough. Has a chance for a second. If that 52, his tires are a little bit more heated up than the rest of these guys, he has a chance to at least close the gap to the 41. Don't know if he'll pass him, but he'll have a chance to at least make it a fight. But first, he's going to have to get by that 34 of Wilmington. But I don't know. I feel like Brennan has a really good short run car, so that might not be an easy task.
Definitely, but Troxel's still going to try. He's right to the gearbox now of the 34. Wilmington's going to kind of slide in front of him down the front straightaway, but Troxel is going to try to go the other way. Troxel down to the inside in turn number 1. He's going to have to clear him right here, though. It looks like he is for the time being. Oh, but Wilmington's going to get to the right side of him through here, and they're going to be side by side down the straightaway. Oh boy, this is going to get interesting. They're still side by side as they go up the hill and into the tight right-hander. Ooh, Troxel's trying to get him on the outside. He's going to go off just a little bit. Left rear in the dirt. They're still side by side.
Oh, I think he got him.
Not quite. These two have been side by side for almost a whole lap. And Brendan Wilmington, he's going to have the advantage here in the carousel. And Wilmington, he's going to hold off Thomas Truxell. But boy, what a battle that was. They were almost side by side for the entire lap. Oh my goodness. And unfortunately, that's probably... Actually, no, Oliveira didn't pull away. Wilmington actually gained a little bit on the 41. About maybe around 2/10. Have to see if he could potentially keep that up, but I think if he wants to catch Oliveira, he's going to have to gain faster than that. Because we're running out of time, because this time by, it's going to be 5 laps to go.
Did the 34 take 4 tires or 2 tires?
I think he only took 2. I think he took 2 along with Oliveira, and maybe Truxell too.
That strategy call by the 41 to take 2 tires is going to be something to watch in a couple of laps, because you would think if they were side by side for a whole lap, that 41 in theory should have pulled a second or two, and he didn't. So we'll see what the gap is at the line. But I'm going to be curious to see. It looks like it's opened up a little bit, but I'll be curious to see over these final couple of laps how those tires hold up on all these cars, because 2 tires at a track like Willow Springs, the high tire degradation. Oh, yeah. Oh
there
my
it is.
goodness.
Oh, Skylar Taylor in the 50 coming off of the pit lane. Did Taylor have an issue in that 50? Oh, boy. Almost got into Thomas Truxell there. I'm sure the 52 is not going to be happy about that, but I don't know what happened to Skylar Taylor there, coming back into the pits for something. And that's a really tough break for Taylor, because I'm pretty sure they were running in the top 5 just a couple of laps ago. That's a real unfortunate break for Skylar Taylor.
I'll say this. You said Thomas Truxell's not going to be happy with that, and Skylar Taylor is probably going to have the faster car right now because obviously just got off pit road, but now the battle for second has kind of deteriorated with Taylor being there, and Wilmington's able to pull a bit of a gap. But Matt brought up a good point. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that 41, if he's able to hold that gap or not. Well, I mean, he's definitely be able to if Brendan Wilmington's being raced by lappers, but
Oh my God.
That 41 car, it's intriguing, and man, Skylar Taylor is not showing any mercy right now. I think it might be better for Brian just to let Skylar go. And
I don't think he's gonna do that. Wilmington's racing him pretty hard. Oh boy. Skylar Taylor definitely mixing things up for second, but yeah, Angel Oliveira pulled out probably about maybe 6-7 tenths that last lap. That 41 is absolutely on rails right now. Ooh, that got a little bit close there. 50 almost got into the back of the 34. But yeah, Angel Oliveira coming to 3 laps to go this time. He's got about a 5.5 second lead to second. But taking a quick look through so far, yeah, Angel Oliveira's your leader. Wilmington right now is second, but Thomas Truxell's right back up there to the 34. Truxell, he's looking for second. Here we go. Battle's back on for the second position. Truxell to the left-hand side of Brendan Wilmington, and he's going to take that spot.
That's an impressive move for that 52 on older tires as well than the 34, because the 52 of Truxell took the undercut ahead of the top 2, and it might be another runner-up finish here for Truxell in 2024 and in the IndyCar series, and it's just an impressive feat for this 52 machine, but nonetheless a good this is going to be, I don't think Wilmington's going to go down without a fight here as they race down the hill into that left-hander. Oh, here we go. They're going to be side by side in the carousel again.
Wilmington's not quite done yet. He's looking for another way around the 52. Looking further on back. Bradley Bradshaw currently sitting in 4th. Nicholas Samadio is 5th. Chris Reynolds, he's up to 6th, trying to potentially keep his point lead here. Zachary Fitzwater 7th, Max Anderson 8th, Luna Lona 9th. So you got both your cars in the top 10, Matt. And currently, Braden Perez is rounding out your top 10 as we come to 2 to go here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. And battle for the lead might be over unless something crazy happens, but this battle for second is raging on as Wilmington's trying to catch back up to the 52. Not quite going to get there just yet.
Here comes Brennan. He's going to... I don't know. Both these tires are so warm from battling for second. It's just incredible to watch both these cars slide around. Angel Rivera has no pressure at all. But yeah, this battle for second is the battle to watch. It's going to be interesting to see if Chris Reynolds hangs on to the points lead. Woo, that was a big slide for Wilmington. Yeah, these tires are warm.
Yeah. Everyone's slipping and sliding around once again as these tires wear. But Angel Oliveira coming out of the carousel. And he's going to be showing the white flag this time by 1 lap to go here from the Willow Springs International Raceway for Angel Oliveira in Trackhouse Racing. Starting off the first 3 races of the season with 3 consecutive top 5 finishes. And looking to not only make it a 4th top 5 in a row, but looking to make it a win here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. And just needs to hang on for a little bit longer. Taking a look back here, Thomas has a little bit of a gap now for second to Brennan Wilmington. And yeah, I think Wilmington probably used up his stuff trying to defend against the 52 because he is sliding around all over the place right now. But out front, it's all Angel Oliveira as he's going to go down the hill and into the carousel for the final time. And Angel Oliveira is going to get not only his 4th consecutive top 5 to open up the season, he's going to get his first win on the season. Angel Oliveira wins the Lenovo Grand Prix of California here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. Thomas Truxell's going to hold on for second, and Brennan Wilmington is still going to come home with a podium finish. But man, what an absolutely dominating performance by Angel Oliveira. That car was on rails the entire day. And man, it definitely showed. Opened up a 7-second lead to Thomas Truxell there at the end. Wow, what a race that was.
That was a dominating performance of that 41 machine once he got out in front, though.
Started off the first 3 races of the season with 3 finishes that were, had one finish where the first 2 cars were within a 1/10 of each other. Second finish was 4 1/1000ths of a second. Third was 7 1/1000ths of a second, and this one's 7 seconds to the 52. But yeah, I think if anyone deserved that win here today, it was the 41 of Angel Oliveira. Easily had the fastest car all day and is going to walk away with the win here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. But taking a look at your finishing results here from the Willow Springs International Raceway, Angel Oliveira is going to nab the win. Thomas Truxell is going to come home with another second place finish. But hey, to his credit, this context of the second place is definitely a lot different from the 2 that he's already gotten this year. And then it's going to be Brennan Wilmington rounding out your podium. And looking further on down the top 10, we got Bradley Bradshaw coming home 4th. Nicholas Samudio is going to round out your top 5. Then we got Chris Reynolds in 6th. Zachary Fitzwater 7th. Max Anderson 8th. Luna Lona 9th. And Braden Perez is going to round out your top 10. But Jairus and Matt, final thoughts about this race. How'd you all think about this race?
Tell you what, that was And we saw some incredible battles, especially up front. That's where we focused most of the races up front because, even when they weren't battling for the lead, it was an incredible battle for second, especially there at the end with Troxel and Wilmington. That 41 was on rails, man. Like, once he got by that 34, it was over. I mean, they couldn't catch him. He was good on the short run. He was good on the long run. I mean, that's about as perfect of a car as you can have. Congrats to Angel Oliveira. And, man, what a start for that 41 crew. Definitely looking like early championship favorites so far.
Yeah, to have 4 top 5s now in 4 races, including a win, that's going to Chris Reynolds had bumped himself up to the points lead after Riverside Raceway by just 3 points. But Chris Reynolds not 6th place for Chris Reynolds, so that's somebody who he had a great day as well. Oliveira's definitely going to take the point lead here, and it's going to be interesting to see how this championship develops. I think over this coming stretch heading into Indianapolis, it looks like Reynolds, Oliveira, Troxel are definitely establishing themselves as favorites, and Bradley Bradshaw is going to get himself back on track here, and it's going to be an interesting run down to Indianapolis in the rest of the season. But overall, a very solid race here today, and a fantastic drive from Oliveira at Trackhouse Racing.
Definitely a fantastic drive from that Trackhouse Racing driver. I know Angel's going to be happy about that. I know Reggie's definitely going to be happy about that. And what a race and what a win for Angel Oliveira here at the Lenovo Grand Prix of California. But next race is going to be Firestone, Indy, Texas at Circuit of the Americas. See, that race will be going up. Let's see here. That race will be going up Friday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you all there. But once again, congratulations to Angel Oliveira. Thank you so much, Chase and Matt, for joining me up here in the booth for this race. And I will see you all at Circuit of the Americas. Y'all take care and have a good one. Here are your point standings after race number 4 on the season.